Okay, here we are. I'm doing my video blog for week 12 on the Samuel section. My experience with someone with a disability is somewhat limited. I had a long-term teaching assignment for about 7 weeks in the third grade. I had one student who was autistic. For the most part, she would be in my class for the attendance and morning announcements, and then she'd go off, pull out, and then I wouldn't see her again until the last period, which would be science or social studies. When she did come back, she'd either have a special education teacher with her or an aide, and she would help explain the lessons further that I was teaching or decide what work she would want the other girl to accomplish. I'm not sure if this was always the case since I was only there for 7 weeks, and this was early on in the year, so I don't think any real set routine was set up as far as what was expected of the special ed student and what was expected of me. For the most part, the student hardly talked to me or others. She sometimes nodded her head when I'd ask her a question. She did not respond to facial cues. If I'd say shh, she kind of would look around. She wouldn't know what I wanted. Sometimes she would speak random words. She disliked loud noises, that's for sure. At assembly, she would cover her ears if our speakers would screech really loud noises, which kind of happened a lot. So usually I'd be sitting with her at the assembly along with the aide, and I said, should we move her to a different room or, away from the assembly? And the aide said, no, she can be here. The students around, though, noticed that she'd scream and cover her ears, and they, some of them would make fun of her. So I'd say, you have to be respectful of other people, and that's just something she does, and, we shouldn't tease others. My reaction to the documentary is one of interest. Keith Jones said that in the 70s when he grew up, which I guess is about 10 years, he's 10 years older than me, so he experienced more, I assume. He had to go to a separate school because of his cerebral palsy disability. He said one of his schools that kids would be drugged up on Valium all day, and pretty much they just sit there slumped at their tables, and I found that really shocking. I didn't know that's what happened in special ed classes, around that time in the 70s. The fact that they didn't learn much and pretty much colored, he said it wasn't conducive to learning at all, and he just wanted to learn math or something, and he was pretty much discouraged since it didn't offer inclusive schooling where he first attended. My thoughts on at least 2 people in the documentary. I'll start with Isaiah. He's the brother of Samuel, and to be frank, I didn't even know which child was Samuel when we first started the video because the brother was somewhat loud, obnoxious, trying to get all the attention from the camera, and then the little one was giggling, reacting to his brother, so I thought maybe Isaiah was the one with the disability and not his brother. But apparently he was the one kind of acting out for attention and things like that. Keith Jones, he really made an impact on me. I was just heartbroken listening to his background that he shared. He mentioned that he often heard others say that anything he did was an accomplishment because there was no bar ever set for him. That's just heartbreaking. He mentioned there's never any high expectations for him or really any expectations from some of the people that he met. He also questioned how he was supposed to be a productive member of society when people's actions told him he was really worthless. He was determined not to be secluded and owes his positive attitude to the fact that he is disabled. I think that's great. He's a wonderful testament to strength, patience, endurance, and fairness that we all should strive to be. Another one was Alana Malfi's mom. I felt for her when she was told that her daughter would never talk, she'd never walk, she'd be institutionalized by the age of 10, and that she was a freak of nature. I can't believe that a physician, doctor, anybody would really tell a parent that. A parent who's, probably confused already by the diagnosis, don't know how to support their child, and then they're told, oh, she's pretty much going to be in an institution, so forget about her. That really made an impression on me. Also, the man who spoke, Norman Kuntz, I believe it is, I had a really, really, really difficult time understanding him. And it definitely tried my patience to understand what he was trying to say, and by concentrating on what he was trying to say, I couldn't ingest what, the great things he was trying to say. So thank you for the things at the bottom, so I knew what he was trying to say. When he asked the audience, what do you want for your kids, the fact that most of the audience felt they want their kids to be happy, that's the most important thing, so I felt that was great. What is my belief regarding inclusion? I think full inclusion sounds like an ideal thing for both the disabled student as well as the rest of the class. I do feel that in order to implement it successfully, though, that all teachers need to be trained in full inclusion and also have the resources. You need the special ed teachers, you need educational assistants, and any kind of aid to implement it successfully in order for it to work. Some of the videos show that teachers were not trained in it and therefore frazzled and were at a loss what to do or if they even accomplished part of it or even met the needs of half of their students. So I can see where definitely they would need training to do the full inclusion. Points from my documentary that support my idea. Um, Again, full inclusion, I can see how having a disabled child fully integrated in the classroom is the best approach for all. Really, because in real life, after school age, we're talking like 18, 19, 20, you're going to encounter people from all walks of life. Rich, poor, whatever nationality, people that are disabled in wheelchairs, people that aren't, people that have speech impediments. You know, we all have to learn to work together. That's what society is. It's made up of all different people. It's a full melting pot of everybody. They will have to learn to adapt and work with everyone's similarities, their differences, personalities, quirks, you name it. The same goes for regular children and people too. I mean, we have to learn to accept others for who they are, what they're capable of, what are their limitations, and how we can help others. I saw Keith Jones also as having thrived because he was moved to a different school in the 6th grade. He said he had full inclusion and also special ed support in the classroom. He was no longer drugged up on Valium and was actually encouraged to learn in a conducive environment. So he was not made to feel limited or restricted in any way than he was before at his other schools. So I felt that Keith Jones was a testament to why full inclusion works. Okay, that's what I wanted to share regarding part 1.